Mr. Minnick here, helping students with tracing if statements, worksheet number 2. Well, it would be helpful on this worksheet to be using pencil first of all, and to quickly fill in the truth table that I teach in my lecture notes. So here it is. You have asparagus broccoli, strict parent, easy parent, and 4 kids in the family, picky kid, kid who eats everything, and 2 middle kids, and they have to be in that order. Then you think, okay, the strict parent only lets goody two-shoes kid have dessert. Nobody else ever gets dessert because both sides aren't true. And easy parent, he or she lets 3 of the 4 kids have dessert because there's at least one somewhere in each of those rows. And this kid never gets dessert. And is like multiplication, if you remember from an earlier video, and or is like addition. Because 0 times 0 is 0, 0 times 1 is 0, plus 1 plus 0 is 1, and even 1 plus 1 is equal to 1, because a computer doesn't even know about 2s and 3s and 4s. They are illegal digits according to a computer. Only binary 0s and 1s are allowed. Okay, back to the worksheet. So on this worksheet, you're not really supposed to fill anything in here on this fill in the blank. You're supposed to just look at the control expressions that you see down here. And in an earlier worksheet video, I teach this more thoroughly. So watch that other video if you need help. But let's just get to the answers. Num greater than 5. So according to this worksheet, num is equal to 5, other is equal to 10. So I kind of write it as columns this way when I do this kind of a worksheet. And we ask the question, is num greater than 5? No, it's not. So number 1, where this is kind of inserted here into this fill in the blank, if num greater than 5, then it's false. False, F, false. And anytime you have a false, the computer does the stuff that's after the else. False prints out because that's what you do when you execute code. Now number 2, hopefully we get a different answer here so that I can make my point. In number 2, if you fill in the blank there with the control expression, you have the question on your hands, if num greater than or equal to 5. Well, num is 5, and 5 is greater than or equal to 5, so this is like a little mini true. But we have to do this half of the and. Other less than 11. Is 10, other is currently 10. Is 10 less than 11? Yeah, true. So 5 is indeed greater than or equal to 5, that's true. 10 is indeed less than 11, that's true. And what do you get overall when you have a true ANDed with a true? Well, according to the truth chart, when you have a true ANDed with a true, that means you're in this goody two-shoes situation. And according to the strict parent, and, you do, it does evaluate to an overall true. So all of this is a big true. I cross out my old scratch work, and the answer is T. This gets circled. What that really means is that this if statement yielded a true there, and the computer will messagebox.show true, and it will not do the false. It either does one or the other, but never both. And in problem number 2, this is what shows up on the screen. In problem number 1, this false showed up on the screen. I wonder what happens on number 3. Well, let's see. Number 3 uses a not equal to symbol in the problem. So let's be careful. Not equal to. I asked the question, well, first of all, I just take foo, which is -3, and I kind of write it in there with pencil. I asked the question, is -3 not equal to -1? Kind of like reverse logic. Is -3 not equal to -1? True. Now I ask the question, is other, which is currently equal to 10 on this worksheet, is 10 less than 0? No. So I put a little F there. Now I look at the big picture. Is true, what do you get when you have a true ORed with a false? Well, OR is like easy parent. And a T or F means that we're currently looking at this line right there. A true and a false in that order. And the OR specifically over here, this one is giving us our answer for exercise number 3. This one means true. In other words, overall, to number 3, we should be circling the T, which really means when this program executes that this top message box pops up. So even if this says New England and this says Seahawks or Seattle, New England would pop up as the winner of the Super Bowl if this were the determining factor. Just saying. I'm a little off track here. Put this back to boring true and false. And we're moving on to number 4, and I'll do that one more because the not, you might not know what a not does. Well, I'll show you. In number 4, work from inside the parentheses out. What do you get when you have num greater than 3? Well, what is num right now? Num is 5. So put a little 5 in there and ask yourself, is 5 greater than 3? True. But what do you get when you not that? What's the not of a true? Well, it's the opposite of a true, which is false. So all of this is now a bigger F, and this true is now done. But we're not done yet. We have this half of the OR to do. Num is 5, and I asked the question, is 5 less than or equal to 5? Yeah, true. So now we have the big picture. What do you get when you have a false ORed with a true? Well, let's look at our truth chart. False ORed with a true. Well, which kid is that in the family? A false first and then a true. It'd be this child right here, the 0, 1, false or true. And or means easy parent, which is kind of like this or here, which means this 1. So overall, we have a big T, and this little T and this little F are gone. The answer is true, which means up here the true pops up. Eventually, I want you just to understand. Don't think about parents and don't think about kids eating asparagus and broccoli. And you don't even have to think about multiplying and adding. Just think. When somebody says the word and, it means both sides need to be true. That's what the word and means. The word or, it's wishy-washy. It's like somebody giving you a choice. Because people always like to take the easy way out, right, Benusa? Yeah. He's not even in this class, but he has a role to play here. If somebody says either do Minnick's vocab assignment or his current events article, then most students, late Sunday night, they're pressed for time, they do one or the other. They don't do both. So that's the way OR works. Either one can be true to make the whole thing true. Unless you're Leah and she does both.